August the 4th, PSA meeting, 2025. We do have a quorum. Thank you all for coming. We'll start with public address. If anybody would like to speak to the board, please step forward, state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes. Seeing nobody in the audience, we'll close that. Consent agenda, be the approval of minutes for June 2nd and July the 14th, 2025. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, call roll, please.
Ms. Demott,
Aye.
Mr. Fidzikowski,
Aye.
Mr. Grafsky,
Aye.
Ms. Biggs,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
5 ayes.
Starting new business. The surplus PSA well sites. This is the wells that we took over and converted to the PSA. Marty, you want to speak on that?
Sure. Yeah, there's 4 surplus wells. 3 are a Reiner and 1's Woodview. One of the Reiner wells, which has an address of 4378, had when we purchased it way back when, it was done in a deed of lieu condemnation, and one of the terms was that well would revert back to the property owners or their heirs. So that one we really don't have much involvement with, other than I just wanted to let you know that that one will be reverting back to the parties that now own that property. The other 3, though, Chuck had been in contact with some individuals who were interested in purchasing those. So we'll start with well number 1, Reiner well number 1, it's referred to, and it's 3866 Reiner Road. It's not a very big site. It's like 0.3 or 4. It's got an assessed value of only $1,100. The adjoining owner, the well has been capped. However, there's still a building there. And so the building is actually a liability. Like if we had to take that down, Chuck said that could cost up to $15,000 to take it down and get rid of it. So one of the adjoining owners, Susan Keene, has offered to take that well site for $1,000. And what I would recommend, because the assessed value is right around that same figure, her offer seems to be reasonable. But we would want to condition it upon us not having to take the building down, that she'd have to take care of that or keep the building. And that would save the PSA, significant money, and it would allow the adjoining owner to get that site. The one thing with all these sites is they're not really building sites on their own because they're so small. Their value is really only to the adjoining owners. The second well is Reiner Well 2. This is 4347 Reiner Road. We got this well from the Salmons way back when. We paid, according to Chuck, we paid $8,000 for it way back then. Some heirs to the Salmons, which are part of the Salmon family, they're interested in purchasing the property. There is no reversion language. They've offered to purchase it for $12,000, which is also a reasonable offer because one, the well is still active, and it can. The health department said it can remain active so long as it's only used for livestock, agricultural purposes, not drinking water, except for animals can drink it, but no human drinking. Also, there's a building still there as well. So if we sold it to Salmon, we would save money on having to get the well capped, which is a couple grand, and then the building taken down would also be in that $15,000 range. So we're saving some money there. Also, we're selling it back to the Salmons, who were reasonable enough to sell it to us to begin with. And so that one they've offered, like I said, $12,000. The third one is the Woodview well. Woodview is one of the wells we ended up inheriting, and then we no longer needed it after the water line went through there and the well wasn't needed. This one seems to be a little different. The well's been capped. The building is still there, so we have that liability of about 15 grand. It's on Jana Road, Janna. One of the adjoining owners offered 4 grand, but what's surprising is it's valued by the Commissioner of Revenue at $39,000. So this one seems to be a little bit different. We do have the building liability at 15 grand. The offer seems to be a little low, but I don't know how you guys feel about it. We could maybe counter with that one if you thought. Like I said, these are only, this site is only of value to the adjoining owner because it's small as well, so. Any questions?
On the third one, the value is 39K
Yeah,
and the offer is what?
4 grand.
4,000?
39
there
just seems crazy high
acreage?
I don't know. I'm surprised by that. If you look on it, it's a wooded area where the lot is. I mean, where the well is. The well's been capped, so it's not usable anymore. The building is there though.
How big is the
The lot, it's not very big at all. I mean, look, it's half acre. Yeah. Could counter and say, I don't know, 8 or 10. Remember, the building is a $15,000 liability. Could be up to a $15,000 liability. Because it would, and then any offer should be conditioned upon them being responsible for the building. Or take it as is. None of these lots would we be giving a warranty. We would just be giving a special warranty deed, which basically says, whatever we have, you have. We've done nothing to affect the title. However, we don't give you any warranty as to the title, how good the title is before we got it. If that makes sense. We're just saying we've not done anything to harm whatever that title is.
On that one there, if I'm correct, it has a right-of-way through it too, right?
On the Woodview one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think, is that the one?
I think that's the one that has right-of-way, so you can't build on it anyway.
Right. Yeah, it's only, none of these are buildable lots.
Right.
They're all just, the owners would take them and absorb them in their current property. Except for the salmon one where they want to use the well for their farm operations. Because that well has not been capped. The other 3 have.
Did we purchase that Woodview site or
No, we did not.
we just
Yeah, we did not purchase that one. We purchased the salmon one for 8 grand.
gotcha.
The other 2 Reiner wells came from the Reiner Water Company. When we took over their operations out there way back when, we just took them.
Got it. Okay, thank
There
you.
was no money changing hands. But the salmons, we did pay for it, and it was, like Chuck told me, it was 8,000 way back when.
So are you looking for a motion to proceed with the 3 offers?
Not a motion, just consensus, and then, because we'll have to communicate back with them and make sure they're still interested. And then we could set up a closing and have a final approval.
All right. And sorry, how
Do
big
you want
is
to counter on the 4 or just take the 4?
how big is that site compared to the Reiner Well 2 site, 4347?
They're all around the same. That one's a little bit bigger. The other ones are more like 0.3.
Okay.
But this one's 0.5.
Okay.
And also with the Woodview one, we have to reserve an easement on there because there's a water line that we have to keep in there. That's unrelated to the well, but it's just in that section. Yeah. So anything we convey to them, we'll be reserving an easement. But the lady didn't seem, I think it's a lady, she didn't seem to seem to worry about that.
That's the one we got from that well situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Woodview, correct. And when we took it over, we put in a water line and we closed that well.
Yeah, according to GIS, it's half an acre.
Yep.
It appears to be just landlocked,
Yeah, it is.
so.
Yeah, that one lady, she's on, won't be able to hook it to hers.
So,
So just to summarize again, the Reiner Well 1, that's one that's assessed at like $1,100. It's offered at $1,000 by one of the owners. That one's, I think, a fair offer. Reiner Well 2 was the salmon one. That one's also fair. They offered $12,000. We paid $8,000 for it way back when. The building would remain, as would Reiner Well 1, and then Woodview Well is the third one. That's the one that's $4,000 offer. For some reason, it's valued at $39,000. The building's still there, and we would have to reserve an easement on that one.
yeah, I don't understand the
39.
39 value on it. I mean, just
really
looking
don't.
at it from the map,
I wonder if, since that's a tax assessment for a piece of property that the county owns, if that, maybe we ought to talk to the commissioner's office about the assessed value. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you agree with that, Marty?
Yeah, it's not right. There's no way that's worth $40,000 or $39,000.
if the individual that's making the offer were to take it, surely they wouldn't be, it wouldn't stay that way because it would be absorbed in the rest of the property.
It would, yeah. It wouldn't be, it more than likely would not remain a separate lot. I mean, it could, but my guess is they would merge it in with their other lot. But we could talk to the commissioner and say, we think this is kind of high. But
Well, I think all three offers are good,
okay.
but we definitely got to make sure that the building is included, that we won't be taking it down.
Exactly, because then we'll be losing money, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, well, this will come back at some point when we get ready to close, so next month or so. That's all I got on that.
Now we'll move on to new business, agreement between the Public Service Authority and Montgomery County.
We've talked about this a few times at the Board of Supervisors. I don't know if Marty wants to go over the agreement or if you want me to say anything about it.
Whatever you need to do.
We've discussed the proposition of having the PSA employees become county employees. The authority would still exist as it is now, but the employees would, as I said, become county employees. And then the county would receive compensation from the PSA for the cost associated with that. So I know some people have had questions about how the billing and the funding would work. The PSA would continue to pay the entire cost of the operations.
Yeah, and I think there was some discussion about whether the joinder was a problem, but I looked through it, I don't see anything. You know, the joinder's clear where, you know, the county's not allowed to subsidize the PSA's capital expenditures, operation debt, or any other expense. And it's not, the purpose of this isn't to subsidize, it's to pay. And we're already doing some of this already, you know, with,
They're the fiscal agent for them now,
right,
and,
and they're getting billed.
right.
So can we just be very clear that the county will not be subsidizing the PSA in any way?
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't there language in there that says that?
In the agreement?
Yeah.
I know we could add it. I don't know if it's in
I
there.
know that was talked about by other elected officials, not in Montgomery County. So I think it's important just to be very clear that we are not subsidizing the PSA in any way with this action, whether we take it or not. Yeah.
This is the weird one. Is it on? That it's a separate enterprise fund and the money will not be commingled and still be supporting it as a completely separate entity, and the streams will not be crossed.
Right.
So,
And you
I
leave-
think that, I think all the language is there. If maybe there was one more sentence that says the county would not provide any financial support for the PSA.
So how does that work? Like, so we had the presentation last week during Board of Supervisors, affordable housing, and one of the tools in the toolkit was the county paying connection fees, things like that. That doesn't, I just want to make sure that doesn't cross that
No,
line.
it doesn't at all, because see, the connection fees are due the PSA. And if the county, if a means of providing a more affordable housing is having those fees waived, it's not fair or equitable for the PSA to absorb that cost, because it's the county that's doing that action. So the county would then, through a grant process, pay for those fees.
Okay.
So
The
the,
PSA is getting something that they would have a right to get.
Right.
They're not being subsidized.
the person that was the homeowner would be the one that was receiving the grant, not the PSA.
Right, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So
Right.
it would go through.
A lengthy paper trail.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we're not eliminating tools from the toolbox.
So are you looking for a motion on the agreement?
Yeah, there's a resolution on the, one of the tabs. The agreement's a tab, and then there's a proposed resolution where the authority agrees to enter into the agreement with the PSA. It would have a date of today. And then it also authorizes the chair or vice chair to sign the agreement on behalf of the authority.
If we're having a public hearing for the Board of Supervisors, why would we be voting on this tonight?
because the Board of Supervisors can't do anything on it until this board certifies that they're willing to go into the agreement in the first place, allowing that process to move forward on the other side.
Well, first, the board has to ask, right, Marty? Board of Supervisors has to ask first.
No, I think the board's already, in essence, asked by sending this agreement over.
So if this board here votes to move forward with it, why would we even have a public hearing on it?
Because the other board has to also make the same vote.
We're the same people.
Mary, I might be wrong, but I think in the past, sometimes the PSA board has voted differently than the Board of Supervisors.
Probably so. At one time or another. Okay, let me get this straight. So you want to vote on this tonight, and then the Board of Supervisors would have a public hearing on if the Board of Supervisors should accept this from the PSA. Is that what you're saying? So we have it all clear.
And the public hearing's not legally required. This board just elected to hold one.
Right.
So I'll make a motion on the resolution approving an agreement by and between the County of Montgomery and the Montgomery County Public Service Authority concerning the county contractually assuming responsibility for the day-to-day operations, maintenance, and staffing of the Public Service Authority.
I'll second.
And you said we have it clear in the agreement that there's no crossover, correct?
Crossover.
Funding.
Like
No
it's separate-
subsidizing, yes.
And so, and that's in there.
What, if it's not, we'll add it.
I think we should definitely add it because I've had conversations with some other folks too and made it very clear that this is a separate fund, it's an enterprise fund, and there's no crossover.
I think that if we add one sentence, I think that it's covered as is, but if we add one sentence that just completely spells that out, it would alleviate some of those questions.
So I'll amend my motion to include one sentence
Yeah.
regarding subsidizing,
I think that
not
Yeah, I
subsidizing.
think that would be good.
I'll amend my second to Ms. Demott's motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? I will say my piece, then we can move forward. As I stated before, when this first started, I don't believe it's the right thing to do. I will be voting against it. I think the PSA has been running good. I think we have good employees there. I'm a firm believer in keeping some things separate. For that reason, I will be voting no on this. Madam Secretary, call roll, please.
Ms. Demott,
Aye.
Mr. Fitchukowski,
Aye.
Mr. Grasky,
Aye.
Ms. Biggs,
Aye.
Mr. Kitts,
Aye.
Mr. King,
No.
5 ayes, 1 no.
Do you want your remarks to be part of the record, Chair King?
Yeah, she's gonna put them in there.
Okay.
July 2025 financial report. Each one of you got it. Have you had a chance to look it over?
Okay, there. Whoops. Okay. There we go.
You want to say
I'll
something
be
about
glad
it?
to. The first page of that is the cash balance report that shows the operating cash is about $3.9 million, and then the other funds that we have as well. And then the second page is the cash basis financial statement. This is, as Chair King said, for the first month of the year, so that's about 8% of the budget. So most things are right on track. There are a couple things that are a little unusual, even though they aren't big dollar amounts. It's related to quarterly payments or annual payments that are made at the beginning of the year. So everything is in line. If you have any specific questions, I can try to answer those for you.
That was going to be my only question, that I assumed it was some sort of prepayment or,
Yeah.
quarterly.
Our insurance is, workers' comp is paid in the beginning of the year. We make a payment for the membership to the Water Authority at the beginning of the year. And there's an annual workers' comp and property and casualty insurance are both covered in July.
Does anyone have any questions on that? Thank you. Director's report. We don't have no director. You want to say something?
I got a tiny thing to say. I've met with the management and supervisor staff and Carrie last Tuesday while Chuck and Greg were still here, and had a good meeting with them. And then Chuck and Greg and I each met individually and had good conversations. And then we met again this morning, and we're going to have just a brief weekly check-in meeting with those supervisory folks. And I have some ride-alongs scheduled with them this week and next to see the system. I've done that before, but it's been a long time, so I'm going to do that again. And then we're going to have a meeting with the entire staff in the near future on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of the crews get off at 3:30, so they could come here just for a brief check-in meeting, and then that will be the end of their workday at 3:30.
Thank you. Board members report. Member Steve.
No report.
Member Vice Chair Kitts.
No report.
Member Grasky.
No report tonight.
Member Demott.
No report.
I guess I'll make it unanimous for the board members, no report. Then maybe you have one, I don't know.
I have no report, but I would like to thank the PSA staff, Greg and Chuck, for their hard work on the PSA. Carrie for trying to keep up with us all the time. With that being said, tonight will be my last night as chair of PSA. I will give the other board members a chance to elect someone else, but I do want to tell you, I appreciate the opportunity. I really enjoyed working with PSA staff and everyone. It's really benefited me a lot. If nothing else, meeting adjourned.